The following program is a presentation of Jez Sports. Greetings, wrestling fans. Welcome to the Main Event Podcast. We are here today discussing AEWxNJPW Forbidden Door 2023, the second annual event from AEW and NJPW. I'm Jez. That's Dan, current World Prediction Champion. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Especially with this hat here.
Just because of the belt, or life in general?
Just because of the belt.
Okay, the rest of your life's a trash heap, but as long as you're champion, things will be okay. Yeah,
belt is life.
I can't wait to take it from you, and then you'll have nothing.
No, you won't.
Sit in the corner crying on your other championship belts, but they're only WWE championship belts. They're not as important as the Main Event Podcast championship.
No.
So there you go. Yeah, and then I'll have two belts. I'll be just two belts. Yeah,
you'll have to try and catch up with me.
Yeah, but I'll have two belts that I've earned, and then you'll have.
I earned these.
I'm not talking about the money to pay for them.
Yeah, but it still counts.
It does not.
Yes.
And on that note, the current score of this quarter of predictions, we haven't got long left now. It's about a month or so. Because when is SummerSlam? Like August 5th or early part of August, isn't it? Yeah. So that is the end of this quarter of predictions. And there's probably a handful of events between the end of this double episode that we're doing now of Forbidden Door and NXT Gold Rush. It's probably just a handful. So interesting. And I do think it's going to come down to the wire. Current score coming into Forbidden Door: Jez 51, Dan 53. I really need a sneeze. It's going to come at some point, and I'll try and mute it when the time comes. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. That annoying like. When you feel like you need a sneeze and it's just kind of sitting there.
It's just hovering.
I just feel like a rabbit. And I'm not cute enough to be a rabbit. I've seen a lot of rabbits this last couple of days.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, including baby rabbits.
Why are you seeing baby rabbits?
Well, where I've been going for a run, I've started to go running again. And I run, weirdly, on a dirt track between a motorway and the Channel Tunnel thing where the trains are and where you queue to get on the trains and all that kind of thing. And for some reason, there's a bunch of bunny rabbits living in the wooded area next to the Channel Tunnel, and they leg it over the path into the little kind of woody area before the motorway. They just keep yeeting themselves back and forth for some reason. And I saw one the other day. It ran alongside me on the other side of the fence for a while. And then today, I saw a bunch of adult ones just jumping back and forth across the path, and two little baby ones just sat there looking cute. So, very happy at the moment. I'm seeing bunnies. Nice. I'm getting exercise. It's all good. Hello, Ellie. Welcome in. I hope you just heard my bunny story, because it was very, very sweet and endearing, and I don't do sweet and endearing very often. So
no, you don't.
So you've missed it. If
it's
you've missed
a rarity.
It won't come back again. This is a long old show, so we should probably probably get into it. We're talking AEW Forbidden Door, Ellie. Don't know if you're into your wrestling at all. I can't remember. I think we have had a conversation about stuff in the past, but I don't remember. Let's start with the pre-show then, or 0 hour as they like to call it, which had the opening match of Chaos and El Desperado versus the Mogul Embassy. A team that as an entity, I have got absolutely no time for, but in their individual parts, I quite like a lot. So they just need to break up and do some stuff.
Yeah.
Thoughts on this match then, Dan?
This match, it really, for me, it didn't kick off well. For sure. It was just there. It happened. And
yeah, I don't know if it was the bunnies, but I don't have any cons and I do have some pros. So maybe I was just high on life. And
you're on a high.
And everything's going to be looked at positively regardless in this. Yeah, my first one is that I love the Gates of Agony. I think they're a wonderful team. And they're not doing nearly enough in AEW.
Yeah.
On that note, I liked the moment when they did the swinging Desperado up and then into a powerbomb. That was cool.
Yeeting him up.
And I've just got that it was fine as a pre-show match, but it wasn't anything special, really.
No.
It wasn't really anything different to what you'd get on Ring of Honor's weekly television show. Yeah. And it was mostly AEW people, apart from Desperado, who has been bouncing around AEW and Ring of Honor for the last couple of months anyway. So it was kind of just a normal match and not very Forbidden Door-y, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's not all bad, though, because it does kick us off in the best way for the predictions, because we both went for the Mogul Embassy. And so in mourning of my bloodline, we are both the ones.
We are the ones. Gotta be love being the ones.
Yeah. I already missed the bloodline. It's only been a fortnight. Next, the Owen Hart Tournament quarterfinal. These guys really need to decide what they're calling this. Is it the Owen Hart Cup? Is it the Owen Hart Memorial Tournament? Is it the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament? Because they've no idea, it seems.
What it is the Owen Hart...
Owen Hart Foundation Tournament Cup for Owen Hart.
Challenge.
And Martha Hart as well, because she's there.
Yeah.
Nice idea. Just someone write it down and pin it to the board.
Decide on a name.
Yeah. Anyway, women's side of the tournament, Billy Starks versus Athena. Once again, I only have pros and no cons.
All right, go on then.
I liked Athena generally freaking out the referee.
Yep.
I thought that was quite fun, which is funny because Athena isn't wholly intimidating, really. Like, she's quite short, and the way she was just making the referee mess his pants,
terrified,
was kind of entertaining. I liked Billy Starks selling the rib injury.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. And I liked that she missed the swanton on the ring apron. That looked good.
Yeah.
In general, it was a decent match. Again, probably something you'd see on Ring of Honor, but there was no New Japan involvement in it at all. But I would like to see down the road, and it's probably because I have a different vision in my head of what Ring of Honor is going to be than Tony Khan does. But I would like it to be more of an NXT type brand, with young talent. So I would like to see Billy Starks kind of rally back, work her way back to the title, and beat Athena at a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And be a young pup champion. And she is young. Yeah. She's barely turned 18. So.
Yeah. Young whippersnapper.
At least we didn't have JR on the commentary in this match, like drooling over her, basically, like we did in her debut. It was a little bit
creepy.
It was a bit, but we will say get well soon to JR. He's had a fall and smashed his face up.
Bless him.
So get well soon. because we do like
Just
your
rub some
commentary.
barbecue sauce on it, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's a cure-all. Is JR's barbecue. Love a bit of JR's barbecue. Have you ever tried JR's barbecue sauce?
I've not actually.
No, I haven't either. I'm just saying words.
Oh.
I tried to buy some.
Get some.
Back in the day, it didn't ship to the UK, so that was out. And then literally every time that I've gone to the States, and I'm like, right, I'll buy some and take it home with me, it's been sold out, so I haven't been able to get it. And it's not like I've only been to the States like once. Like
you've been a few
4
times.
or 5 times now.
Yeah.
Like multiple different states, and no, can't get it. So I'll stick with whatever barbecue. I can't remember what the name of it is, but I found a nice barbecue sauce while I was out in the States, and then just so happened to find it in like the middle of Lidl in their exotic foods aisle. Yeah. So
nice.
So now I use that, and it's lovely. I think it's called Sweet Baby Ray's. That's what it's called. Sweet Baby Ray's honey barbecue sauce. Thoroughly recommend it.
There we go.
Other barbecue sauces are available, especially if any of them would like to sponsor us. Predictions. We both went for Athena.
What a surprise.
We are the double ones, which makes
double one.
2. A thank you.
Thank you.
Next, El Phantasmo versus Stu Grayson. Finally, a New Japan versus AEW kind of match.
Yeah.
And it was at this point that it kind of clicked what they were doing with this pre-show. They didn't really care about selling you on Forbidden Door, because they're like, if you're here already, you're watching Forbidden Door. You've already bought it. You're just watching the pre-show leading into it. What they were actually doing is trying to convince their casual AEW audience and a casual New Japan audience to watch Ring of Honor.
Yes, that's what it was.
So there was two holy Ring of Honor matches, and then this one continued a Ring of Honor story with Stu Grayson and the Righteous, which is a great pairing. I do like the Righteous. I've been bopping to their entrance music quite a lot in the last couple of weeks. Right?
Yeah, it's quite a good like.
Well, I do feel like I'm in the deep south, but it's great and I'm enjoying it. I get some weird looks when I'm driving down the street, but I get them anyway. Exactly. Anyway, El Phantasmo versus Stu Grayson. Over to you.
Nipple twist.
The purple nurple.
Purple nurple.
You don't see a purple nurple in professional wrestling much.
No, you don't.
Or in any sport, for that matter.
No. El Phantasmo just looking great, I thought, throughout all this. Stu Grayson, though, also looking great. You know, when he caught El Phantasmo, just caught him when he jumped off the top rope. It was like, and Stu Grayson's not a big guy, like tall wise.
No.
He's quite short, and just catching El Phantasmo, just like, bam, I got you now.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite good.
Yeah, no, it was decent.
But the one thing I was hoping for with El Phantasmo for this whole pay-per-view is that he was going to come out and do something with Bullet Club Gold.
Yeah, there was no Bullet Club of any colour involved in this entire show, and that is disappointing. Yeah. But one thing I do like, and I hope that it wasn't just a tease, and I hope it sticks. Last week, when we were discussing AEW Collision, I called for them to add more members to Bullet Club Gold.
Yeah.
And this week on Collision, it seems as though my prayers were answered, and the appropriately named Guns seem to be joining Bullet Club Gold. They all did the the tapping of the gun fingers and whatever.
Yeah.
But the Guns have really grown on me. I could take or leave them for the majority of their first 3 years in the company. It was only really after they'd finished feuding with the Acclaimed and they actually won the titles that I'm like, oh, okay, they seem to have finally put this together and they look like a credible team. And I kind of like they've got the same kind of plinky plonky music like the Righteous have got, really.
Yeah.
And I just love the camera pan around them during their entrance. It just looks like money. So
there you go.
I hereby, because I know that they're probably waiting for this before officially announcing it, and it wasn't mentioned on Dynamite, I officially endorse the Guns as members of Bullet Club Gold.
There you go.
I am down for it. That is too sweet.
Yeah.
So there you go. I don't really have any specific pros or cons for the match itself. I felt that it was great to see Stu Grayson actually do something relevant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was doing so little in AEW previously that they released him and he had to find his way back into the company. But it is a shame to see the Dark Order kind of falling apart. It's a real shame.
Yeah.
They did do something on Dynamite, which was interesting. Don't know if you've seen Dynamite this week yet. But,
no.
So it looks like they're going to do something. They basically turned heel, which is good. They're crap baby faces. They were only turned babyface because their leader died. It's not because of any other reason than that. So good to go heel again. I dug it. So Stu can do the Righteous. The Dark Order can do what they're doing.
The Dark Order.
Everyone's happy. Claws.
Everyone's a winner.
Yeah, just draw an eye on my hand. Creepy. We're on a roll, Dan.
Yeah.
3 for 3. We both went for El Phantasmo for the win.
Yes.
Because we both love El Phantasmo. So there you go.
Yeah.
We are up to 3. V1 now.
Yeah.
Next, the main event of 0 Hour, if you will.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come out and say it. For my money, the weakest match on the pre-show.
Yeah.
Not a great way to send us into the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
United Empire versus Los Ingobernables de Japón.
Mm-hmm. Try saying that when you're drunk.
I often do. It's one of my challenges. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this one. I think I was trying to be as positive as possible. So in my pros, I've got lots of action.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very busy.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. But then conversely, it was also a little bit hard to follow. There was no rules. There was no structure. It was just, hey, let's just do a bunch of spots and then eventually someone will win.
Yeah, no, I don't have much. I've got United Empire rushing them at the beginning. Cobb being like a brick wall.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Cobb's great. We're not going to argue that. Yeah.
Apart from that, I'm just like, fine.
It was a match that happened, I think.
Yes.
Officially.
We can actually say it.
And the streak is dead.
Oh.
Long live the streak. We both went for the United Empire to win.
Wow.
So I guess at least we both got it wrong.
We both got it wrong. That's fine.
Los Ingobernables picked up the win. Keeps us on 3. And we'll roll straight into the main pay-per-view, which
the
kicked
meat and veg
off with the AEW World Championship match with MJF taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Yeah.
Many things to say about this one. I'm sure you do as well. What did you think?
Yeah. Great match. Great match. Great way to kick off. Fantastic. MJF mocking Tanahashi.
Yeah.
At the beginning with like the way he walks, the guitar, everything. Fantastic. MJF just deciding he's going to walk off. Again, great. Tries to go for the handshake, offers a handshake, and then boots him one. Great. The ref. Enjoyed the ref in this one, especially when they were doing the abdominal stretch part, and doing that, and especially when MJF is holding onto the rope, and the ref comes around and goes, "You can't do that to us." And MJF just shouts at him, "What are you gonna do, dip?" SH1T. Fantastic.
Yeah. See, I've got that in my cons. I felt like, as I often do in AEW, that the referee was too visible. And he was playing pantomime with the crowd that whole time in the abdominal stretch. Like, he's behind you. He's holding the ropes. Oh, is he? He's not holding the ropes. And then dup, 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 dup. Like, he's behind you. Oh, he's not holding the ropes. Dup, dup, dup. And it was just so pantomime. And I was like, oh my God, this is just, why? You're ruining this match. But yeah, that is one of my two cons. I did not like that. If you did,
what's your other con
then? It's been a complaint for a while. I think Tanahashi needs to reinvent himself and lay off the top rope stuff.
Yeah.
It was a struggle to get up on the ropes, and they were like, "Oh, the turnbuckles are different here than they are in Japan."
They tried to cover it up.
They're not really.
You're not covering it up.
No,
it's just he shouldn't be up there.
No, not anymore. No, he needs to reinvent his.
He needs to settle down.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the example of Chris Jericho, basically, and just keep changing up what you do and completely reinventing yourself every few years.
Yeah.
He's got that iron will moniker, so lean into that a bit more and just be a bit more of a brick wall and smash people up and put them in submission moves. Like, that would suit him as he moves into the latter stage of his career. So But yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like, really. It's just, I fear for Tanahashi every time I watch a Tanahashi match at the moment, and it just makes me uncomfortable. And I don't want to be uncomfortable worrying about, one of my favorite wrestlers' safety throughout a match. It just isn't what I want to do. But yeah, what else did you like? Because I do feel like you were not quite done.
The superplex off the top rope. Banging, looked great. The fake out punch to a poke in the eye. Classic MJF. And the cheat to win. I quite liked that.
Yeah, I thought that was a good one. Yeah, pushing Tanahashi into the ref so that he could use the Dynamite Diamond Ring. I have that in my list as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So, overall, great match.
I only have two additions to that, and I'm just praising MJF as we always do, because why wouldn't we? He's fantastic. MJF scheduling a tweet to go out during the match. I'm like, this guy is just creating new ways to get heat, and I am here for it. It's incredible. Yeah. But then at the same time, as much as a bona fide phallus MJF is as a character, you could see throughout this match MJF looking after Tanahashi in the ring. Like, it was very visible that he was taking care of him. And what an absolute pro he is. I don't think MJF gets enough credit for, it's said a lot, but it's also said in jest because he's a heel, and that he's a generational talent. Genuinely, regardless of character and saying it for heat, I do think he is a generational talent. I don't think anybody is doing what he does at any level at the moment. As a more sports entertainment-y style wrestler, as the professional wrestling business is now. I'm not saying that he's the greatest technical specimen in the world.
No.
That might come later in this show. We will see. But as far as the package of what you would expect a wrestler to be in 2023, I think MJF is the top of the pack in any company. And I might have to write a lengthy opinion piece about it.
Do it.
Because I just don't think MJF's getting enough credit. I don't understand how anybody can dislike MJF other than as a mark, because he's a great heel.
Which,
But there are people who don't like him because of who he is, not because of his heel work. It's just very strange. Anyway, great match. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Great way to kick off the show. The only downside to it is that he was out of there and wasn't at the press conference swearing at them and mocking all of the reporters, which is hilarious. So maybe next time. I did miss that. And we both inevitably went for MJF for the win.
Well, it wasn't going to go to Tanahashi.
No. I did wonder, do they have the balls to drop the title to a New Japan wrestler?
But no, they don't.
But no, they don't. No. It would have been completely acceptable to do so.
Yeah.
Tanahashi would be a great AEW champion. Probably a short AEW champion. He'd probably drop it again in a few weeks. But I knew that they didn't have the balls to do it.
Yeah.
Much like, Impact Wrestling don't have the balls to put the belt on PCO. You got to have balls to do that.
You listening, Impact?
Yeah, Scott
Don't
D'Amore
have the
and
cojones.
Anthem. You just got to sack up and PCO for world champ, right?
You don't have the balls.
Dare you to put the world championship on PCO?
Double dare you.
So anyway.
We're on 4. 4. Yeah. Okay.
Next, Owen Hart quarterfinal. Satoshi Kojima versus CM Punk. Now, this was the opening match on the men's side for the Owen Hart tournament.
Yes.
And it's still the only one that's happened as of recording, I believe. Don't think they did one on Dynamite.
No, I don't think
they did. I wasn't paying attention.
Neither was I.
It was all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
It was a good kind of welcome back break into CM Punk's singles wrestling. I liked that he played the heel.
Yeah.
He is going to be a heel everywhere except Chicago, it seems. That seems to be the way that CM Punk is going to be presented. I'm fine with that. The hate that CM Punk is actually getting is bizarre, but that's another story. I liked CM Punk being chopped over the barrier into the timekeeper's area.
Yeah.
Because that just came out of nowhere. They were like chopping each other, and then Kojima just reached back and chopped him, and Punk just flew.
Yeah.
Over on, like,
I think
pretty
Punk
much on top
sold
of Dasher.
it really well, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really good. So that was fun. And machine gun chops by Kojima. They were good and didn't get weaker as, the frequency of them came on, unlike some other people in this company that we could mention.
Eddie Kingston.
Oh, man, that's a nasty cough you've got. You should get that.
It's a bit of a dodgy cough, sorry.
Yeah. Bit of a mad king cough, you could say.
Yeah.
And my only negative from this match was that the GTS to finish it was a bit naff.
Yeah.
It didn't quite connect as much as we would have liked. Anything from you?
Well, the elbow drop landing on Punk's crotch.
Was that a pro or a con?
That's just there.
Yes.
I was just there. I was like, I've got to note that down, but I don't know whether it's a pro or a con.
Fair enough. Yeah. There you go then.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice and easy one. We both went with CM Punk for the win.
What a surprise.
Which makes us just 5 pointed guys.
5 time.
Very relevant for this one.
5 guys.
We have one of those 5 guys a little bit later.
Yeah. In fact, it's in the match after next.
Correct. AEW International Championship, which is a name I still cannot get used to. Orange Cassidy versus Katsuyori Shibata versus Zack Sabre Jr. versus Daniel Garcia. Yes. Lots of sibilant sounds in this. Katsuyori Shibata, Zack Sabre Garcia. Good job I don't have a lift. That's otherwise silly. I would have severe problems. Whose turn is it? Your turn. Go.
I think it's mine. I thought it was a decent match. There was some funny bits in it as well, I thought. Like passing the foot. Why not?
Yeah.
If you can, why not? Was it they kept on like, who was it, pushing Garcia away? And we were a bit like, no, we're busy, lad.
Yeah. The adults are wrestling. Go and sit in the corner.
Go sit in the corner. We'll bring you your dinner in a minute.
Yeah. Or we won't. And you'll still sit in the corner and wait.
Yeah. So I thought that those were quite funny. Good bit of entertainment, shall we say.
Mm.
But then there was other bits, you know. Where am I? The pin that goes into the suicide dive. So that was good. So where he rolled him up, then he kicked out, and he just went straight. Screw it, I'm going through the ropes.
Yeah, you got to have your timing really set up for that, don't you?
Yeah,
that's obviously a predetermined spot that they were waiting for. But the execution of it was very good.
Yeah. That was it. I've already said that one. Everyone boots everyone at once. Knocks everyone down. Garcia using the title because it's a no disqualification match.
Yeah.
So why doesn't people do this more often?
Yeah. You have said that in the past, especially in triple threat matches, and it would certainly make triple threat matches more interesting.
Yeah. Shibita taking Garcia's shots.
Yeah.
Like a man. Like, get in the corner again. You know? Cross-legged chops.
Cross-legged chops. I'm not familiar with this. Don't remember.
When they sat down cross-legged in front of each other.
Oh, and we're just still chopping each other. Yeah,
and just chopping each other. You know? And then Cassidy stealing the pin.
Yes, I have that. Yeah. I also have... I don't have much on this because it was just generally all right. You know, it was a multi-man match.
Yeah.
It wasn't a triple threat, so that did allow for a lot more options. It should always be a fatal four-way and not a triple threat. I liked everybody putting Orange Cassidy in leg submissions. I just found the comedy in that quite good.
Yeah.
Massive kudos and respect for Shibata and Sabre for just constantly slapping and chopping each other all the way through the match.
Yeah.
It was like they'd go and do another spot with someone else, and then they'd go back to slapping and chopping each other, and then they'd have a little go with someone else, and then they would always come back to slapping and chopping each other. I don't know how many hits they actually delivered and took, but if you counted it up, I would probably say that each of them were hit in the chest more than 100 times in that match.
Yeah.
There was a lot. So,
that's a lot. We wouldn't have been able to survive that.
No. Well, one of Shibata's chops would probably have ended our existence, to be fair. So,
yeah.
Maybe not Zack Sabre's. It's a little bit doughy around the edges at the moment, but aren't we all?
Yeah.
And Orange Cassidy stealing the win. I thought that was pretty decent too. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's reached the I've got to win at all costs because, otherwise I'm not keeping my championship. I've defended it cleanly 25 times. Like, it's okay that the 26th time is a little bit
cheaty.
Cheaty. I think that's fine. Yeah. And fair play to him. Has now surpassed Jade Cargill as the most title defenses of a championship.
Thank God.
And did so in, how long has he been champion? Like 3 months, 4 months?
Decade.
And Jade Cargill took like over a year to do it.
Jade Cargill just felt like she was champion for too long.
Yeah. Okay. Again, I feel like a lot of this event might be slightly inevitable and predictable. We both went with Orange Cassidy for the win, which takes us to 6 apiece, or Detroit, Michigan, if you will.
Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
Motor City.
One of the 5 guys that we mentioned, the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Sanada, taking on Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
This let me down.
it was always going to, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, before this match even started, I had written in the cons column, I still don't understand why they put Jungle Boy in this match. And okay, right, they wanted to turn him heel and do the thing with Hook at the end. But yeah, he could have done that against literally any New Japan star. Why did it have to be Sanada? Why didn't we get a decent, credible threat to Sanada and the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship? Because we didn't get the World Championship match last year at Forbidden Door. Oh no, we did, didn't we? It was
it was Jay White.
Jay White. Who did he defend against? It was a fatal 4-way. So it wasn't quite, the one-on-one experience threat is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, like there are so many guys whom Sanada could have taken on.
Yeah.
And it's Jack Perry.
Yeah.
Like I would have even accepted like Dustin Rhodes or hell, even Eddie Kingston. I'd have taken Eddie Kingston over Jack Perry. And that's saying
that's
a
saying
lot,
something.
Really. And it's not that I dislike Jack Perry. I don't. But
he's not at this caliber.
He's not at the main event yet. He just isn't. Like, I don't care that he was in a World Championship match less than a month ago. That was because he's one of the 4 pillars and it was a special attraction. He's not at the main event yet. Don't put him in main events.
No.
I just don't need to see it when there are other people who should be facing money guys like Sanada at your Forbidden Door pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because that's my main pro. Sanada.
Yeah.
He's absolute money. Yeah. He's the total package. He looks great. He wrestles great.
Yeah.
He's incredible. And I can't wait. Like, I'm really excited for the G1 Climax tournament because there's a lot of really cool names in there with a lot to prove. And, last year's G1 wasn't really as invested in it then, but, it was really the start of the turnaround for Sanada. So, see if he can repeat.
Yeah.
Don't think that happens very much.
No.
New Japan historians, get back to me, but I don't think repeating winning the G1 Climax happens very much.
No.
Yeah. My other pro and my one slight, kudos for Jack Perry is he did hit really goddamn hard.
Yeah.
For a smaller guy, he can lay in a lick. He absolutely can.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's all meh for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me guess on the predictions. You went with Jack Perry, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely. Of course I did. Yeah,
so did I.
I really, truly thought that Jack Perry was going to take the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
Take Sanada's place in just 5 guys. Be like, just jungle guys. He'd go to the G1 Climax, win the whole thing. And then he'd probably unify the IWGP World Heavyweight title with like the US title and the World Television title, and it would be Super Jack Perry. Yes, that's exactly what I thought would happen. Mm-hmm. Back in this reality, no, I went for Sanada, as did you.
Yeah, so did I.
And that takes us to 2 sides of Detroit, Michigan. Both Detroit and like, I don't know.
Somewhere over there.
I've been to Michigan. I think it was on that side. I don't know. Yeah, somewhere over there.
Fair enough.
Next. The Elite. Eddie Kingston and Tomohiro Ishii versus the Blackpool Combat Club, Shota Umino and Konosuke Takeshita.
Right, because of that noise, you can take this one.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that bad. It was fine, but multi-man match, man, like, I just didn't care. And I like most of the guys in this. Apart from Eddie Kingston, obviously, but I just didn't care. Major plus.
Yeah.
And I hoped it was a sign of change, but it was not. Mox using his Death Rider Japanese entrance music instead of Wild Thing. Screw Wild Thing.
Yeah, Wild Thing can do one.
Yeah. Get rid of the vibrating phone. Yeah. I really liked his like Death Rider entrance, his Japanese entrance. It's much better. It suits him more. Like Wild Thing doesn't suit him.
No.
He's not a wild
it's too
thing.
Upbeat.
He's like a bleedy thing.
Yeah.
Bleedy
Although
thing.
he didn't bleed in
doom,
this.
doom, doom, doom. You make my head bleed. Doom, 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 doom. You make everything crimson. Bleedy thing. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, doom. Yeah, but not Wild Thing, I Think I Love You. It's Wild Thing, Please Do One. And that's my remake of that.
Especially when they have that live band there.
Yeah, and they just play it 6 times in a row.
Yeah, even though the match is going on.
Yeah. Wild Thing was my favourite song, the earliest I can remember. My earliest favourite song was Wild Thing.
And now it's been ruined.
And it has been completely ruined. Yeah, it has. Yeah. I used to sit, like, listening to the radio, waiting for Wild Thing to come on so that I could tape it. And now I'm like, if I had it on tape, I would burn the tape.
Yeah.
Honestly. Okay, other things that I did like. Takeshita laying in a shot that just knocked Ishii out on the apron. I'm like, whoa, kudos, mate. Like, you are getting some kind of push if you are being given, like, carte blanche to just knock out guys like Tomohiro Ishii, because that's a hard dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, both
with his shoulders upon shoulders upon shoulders upon shoulders.
Both in character and in real life. So, you know, that he gave you the blessing to do that and took that bump as a knockout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Hangman taking Takeshita out of the air with an elbow. Just and down you go. That was good. Bam. And the double German suplex to the Young Bucks by Takeshita. So basically it's just Takeshita.
Just Takeshita.
Yeah.
You just like Takeshita.
I do like Konosuke Takeshita, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And yeah, other than Eddie Kingston, there weren't really any specific cons in this. It was it was a multi-man match, and I suppose, Mox didn't bleed. That's another pro.
There you go.
You know, again, historians get back at me, but the last time that happened was probably like 2014, so
yeah.
It's a long time ago. Now then, anything to add before we predictions?
No.
Okay, who did you go for then?
I believe I went with Blackpool Combat Club.
You did indeed go with the Blackpool Combat Club, and this is the first time in which we differ on this show. And I went with the Elite, Kingston, and Ishii. I don't know why. It was a crapshoot, and I just zigged when you zagged. But it does take me to 8, which is 4 horsemen, both male and female. And you'll stay in Michigan.
Yeah.
In Detroit and that other place that we don't know where.
Yes.
AEW Women's World Championship. Toni Storm versus Willow Nightingale.
Yeah. This.
I mean, I will say off the bat.
Yeah.
No, being the strong women's champion does not constitute being a New Japan star.
No.
This was not a true Forbidden Door match.
No.
It was lazy.
Yeah.
And, okay, they wanted this to be Mercedes Moné, but she broke her ankle, and that was the end of that. So, fine. But, it was just a match that you get on Dynamite or Rampage or even on Ring of Honor. Like, it wasn't special enough.
Yeah.
And I don't have any real cons, but it just wasn't the greatest match. It was totally by the numbers, really.
Yeah, I didn't really have any cons, but at the same time, I didn't really have any pros.
I like the Mean Girls cheating because it's just consistent. I liked this extra aggressive, less happy-go-lucky side of Willow Nightingale. She wasn't taking any crap, and that was good. And gouge the eyes, cheat to win.
Yeah.
But again, it's by the numbers.
Yeah.
Nothing particularly special.
Yeah.
And perhaps that was by design. As I say that we both went for Tony Storm. That takes me to
what a
9.
surprise.
And you go to 8. Perhaps it was by design that they had a totally fine average match leading into the next one, because fine and average are not words that you could use to describe this one. IWGP US Heavyweight Championship, before Jungle Boy unifies it with everything and takes over New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's to come. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
I have a long list.
Start it off then.
Yeah, I've got some cons as well. It wasn't perfect.
We'll go through the pros first.
Okay. The shooting star press whilst Omega was draped on the ropes.
Yes.
Beautiful. I wish my child wasn't in the room when I watched this bit. Slamming Omega's head into the announce table.
Yes.
It was extra brutal, and it made a hell of noise, and I was there for it. The "You sick fornicator" chants by the crowd.
Yeah.
And Will Ospreay just looking dead into the camera and going, "Yep."
Yeah.
No. Yes, I am. And what? Desecrating the Canadian flag.
Yeah.
I mean, use the opportunity to do it in a country that isn't bat feces crazy and will literally cut your head off for doing so. Americans would absolutely lose their minds if you did that with the American flag, and Will Ospreay would never step foot in America again. But Canada, much like the rest of the world, I'm like, yeah, it's a piece of fabric. Yeah. Yes, it's got symbolism. Yes, it's got meaning. But at the end of the day, it's just a piece of fabric, and he is doing it to piss you off. Did he piss you off? Yes, he did. Mission accomplished.
Yes, but that's because Americans aren't very bright.
It's a massive shot to fire at, millions and millions of people, but
I don't care.
You go. Dan doesn't want to ever get into America either, apparently. I do. I will just say, y'all care a lot about your flag. Next, the DDT on the upturned steps.
Yes.
I was very concerned that the steps were just going to fall over, but it all worked out and everybody lived. It was good. The dueling German suplexes, just back and forth. I'll do a suplex, you do a suplex, back and forth. That was nice.
Yeah.
Countering the Os Cutter with a knee to the back of the head.
Yep.
The piece of feces chant to Don Callis.
Yep.
I'm just, expertly deflecting all of the swears. Have you noticed?
You are. You're doing very well.
Yeah, I'm good at that. And I normally hate this. I know that I normally am like, this would be in the con column straight away. But Kenny Omega kicking out at 1 from his own finisher, the One-Winged Angel. Yes, it's a finisher, but it's his finisher. So it's like, no, you ain't beating me with my finisher, mate. It's not happening. Extra impetus.
Yeah.
And then finally in the pros, and I can only say this one because he lived, dirty Tiger Driver 91 straight on Omega's head and neck.
Yep.
Could have gone the other way and would have been a con.
Could have gone very bad.
Because that could have been the end of the match and the end of many things. But everyone survived. It was okay.
Yeah.
I think Brian Danielson, keep calling him Daniel Bryan, said it best in the press conference. Did you need to do it? Did it make the match better? I'm not sure it did. If that wasn't there, it would still been as good.
Yeah.
And it didn't make it any better. So, gents, look after yourselves.
Yeah.
Please. Any other pros before I get into my cons?
No, you've done it all beautifully.
Okay. Cons. I probably have the most cons for this match as any other. And I do believe this was the match of the night, but as I said, it was not perfect. After Don Callis was ejected, Kenny Omega just stood there for ages waiting for Ospreay to planche out of the ring onto him. So we talked about the timing in an earlier match with the, kick out and straight through the ropes. The timing wasn't there for this one, and Omega looked like a Burke, just stood there going, "He's going to planche me at some point."
Oh,
there he comes. It was not slick. Didn't like that.
Yeah.
I've got this in the cons just because it's disgusting. Not because I'm really that offended by it.
Is it the licking the blood?
Yeah. You got the reaction. Well done.
Yeah.
Minging.
Yeah.
This is a kind of, weird kayfabe kind of question. Why didn't the security hired to protect Will Ospreay from rabid Canadians, why didn't they step in between Ospreay and the crowd when he was going near the crowd? They didn't do anything.
Because they decided we're not getting paid enough for this.
Yeah. There's a loud bird in a tree next to your house that's wanting to chime in on this as well. Yeah.
It wants to It's an Osprey.
Do you know, I don't even know what an Osprey looks like, so...
It's flipping massive.
Okay, fair enough. And then finally, the sharpshooter. Kenny Omega laying flat on his stomach.
Yeah.
Ergo, the sharpshooter wasn't actually doing a thing. He's just basically holding his legs up without actually, bending the back.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point of the sharpshooter. Like the massive misnomer that the sharpshooter hurts the legs. No, the leg part is to get a firm hold so that you can crank back. It's not to hurt the legs. It's not a figure 4 leg lock or a leg lock of any kind. It's to provide purchase. Yeah. So that you've got the foot to hook onto.
Yeah.
So like when you're lying on your front, it's just, oh no, please don't make me lie on my belly. Should I tap? No, probably not. And for two world-class, arguably best in the world at what they do, to not be able to do a sharpshooter, or it was just, oh guys, please, can you just use your brain? It just totally took me out of the reality.
Out of the moment.
Yeah. So there you go. Any cons to add?
No.
Right. Then I will ask you this question. Being compared, obviously, to the match that they had at Wrestle Kingdom that we watched, talked about, do you think this match was better or worse than the Wrestle Kingdom one?
I think the Wrestle Kingdom one was actually a bit better. Don't get me wrong, this was a fantastic match, but the Wrestle Kingdom one was just that little bit better.
I completely agree. Yes, yeah. And Ospreay talked about how this was different because of the different crowds and the different audiences, and that obviously the American crowd were all in on it and they let you know very vocally, whereas the Japanese crowd, do you know what? No, I don't even accept that, because the Japanese crowd got super loud for that match at Wrestle Kingdom, and which was totally out of Japanese crowd character. So no, I think the fact that you got Japanese people to react in the way that they did probably says a lot about that match. And I think as good as this match was, and it was, I think the Wrestle Kingdom match actually still just defecates all over this one. Yeah. Honestly. So where they keep saying this was better, and I get why, AEW is saying this was better, because it was on their turf. Yeah. But I don't agree. The Wrestle Kingdom match was a lot better. Yeah. So if you're out there as an AEW fan that hasn't really watched New Japan and you enjoyed this match, go back and watch the Wrestle Kingdom match. Yeah. You can get a month's subscription to New Japan World for like £4 something in the UK, because it's 500 yen. No, it's not. It's 1,000 yen. But it's still nothing, honestly. So go get it done. Who did you predict?
Osprey.
I did too. You know, hometown boy.
Yeah.
So that takes me to 10.
Oh.
Can't think the last time I was at 10.
I don't know. Considering when was it you flunked completely?
I don't remember
and only
that.
got 3.
I don't think that happened. I think you're making that.
That was like on the Impact or something.
Maybe that happened years ago. I don't remember.
No, it happened a couple of weeks ago because Harmstone predicted as well and like got a clean sweep and really annoyed all of us.
No, I'm not remembering it, so it didn't happen. But yeah, I'm on 10. You're on 9. Ali, welcome in. Are you giving me a high five there? I was actually saying I had 10 points, but I will totally give you a high five. There you go. Enjoy. It's a high five from me to you with love. Next, Le Suzuki Gods, which is the team of Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki, versus, and I cannot express enough how much I love this name, Sting Gobernables de Japón. Yeah. I can't remember his name, Chris something, the British Japanese announcer. He was like, and before I go, I've just got to get this in, Sting Gobernables de Japón, and then he was gone from the pre-show. Yeah, that was pretty good. And yes, Ali, Chris Jericho, he's still going. He's wrestling for AEW, which is this company. There you go.
Right there.
Yes, Sting Gobernables de Japón, which is Darby Allin, Sting, and Tetsuya Naito, which is a dream team as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Your turn. What did you like?
First off, great match, even though it was a multi-man match. Naito. Just being Naito.
Yeah, I've got just Naito. Full
just
stop.
Naito. Yeah. Just, just Naito. Just Naito. Naito doing the Guevara pose.
Yeah, well, it is and it isn't. It's the Los Ingobernables pose that, with the fist up, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Doing it to mock Guevara,
yes.
Murder Grandpa.
Yeah, I've got that. Just Murder Grandpa, full stop. Yeah.
Murder Grandpa. Yeah. On their team, Guevara, Jericho, Suzuki, pose. All of them do the pose together. I
just love the expression on Suzuki's face as well, because he like did it and he was like, "Oh, this isn't quite cringe enough. What can I do?" So he went, and it was fantastic. It was incredible. It was
brilliant.
Yeah. I love that at this stage of Suzuki's career, Suzuki, who legitimately is like one of the top 5 hardest people in the world in anything, is now just so happy to, take photos hugging women and do these stupid poses with his smile out. Yeah. If you'd have told me 10 years ago that Minoru Suzuki would be doing that kind of stuff, I'd have said no. I don't think so. Bruv. No, not unless he's got severe brain damage or something. No.
Which, to be honest, he probably does.
I don't think he does, though. Yeah.
But I mean, to be honest, the rest of it, I was just watching Naito and Murder Grandpa.
Yeah,
the whole time.
I liked specifically Suzuki, like really winding up and elbowing Darby Allin, like just really slowly preparing to take Darby Allin's head off. That was pretty good. And Jericho catching a diving Darby Allin with the Judas effect. He was diving, just whomp, and elbowed him straight in the face.
Yeah.
On the negative side, Sammy Guevara cocking up the cutter and just landing on Sting's head.
Yeah.
That's less than ideal. And they were just throughout this match, and I can't really pinpoint them specifically, but there were some clunky, slow moments. It was, it was what it was. You have several older gentlemen in this match. So, yeah, it was what it was.
Yeah.
But on this point. We both went with Sting Gobernables de Japón. Point each. Takes you to 10. You can give Ali a high five now.
High 10.
It's a bit like a self-high five, DDP. Bang. And I'm on 11, and I don't have enough appendages for that. So, like...
Cheeky.
I get to be the ones.
Get your toe out.
I'm not doing that. Feet are wrong. Now, before we move on to the main event, there's a very important question to answer. As I hit my microphone. Ali in the chat would like to know if you're drinking straight vodka.
Yes, I am.
Okay, glad we could clear that up. Main event. Daniel Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada. Oof.
Yeah. Oof.
Big time oof.
You can start this.
Okay, I'm going to start with cons this time.
Go on.
And I have more cons than pros, which may sound like I didn't like the match, but no, there were just several glaring things that I didn't like, and I still enjoyed it overall. I don't get the hype of the final countdown as Daniel Bryan Danielson's music.
I get that it's a throwback because that was his music from
Ring of
his
Honor
indie days
when they were illegally using music that they shouldn't have been. Yes,
yeah, that right there. But yeah, I like the song.
It's
good
fine.
Song.
It's a bit overrated in my opinion. I'm probably gonna get fans of who is it? Europe? Is that who it is? Is that the band?
Yes, I believe
probably
so.
Gonna get hated now, but
it's a final countdown.
No, don't. You're gonna cost me millions. We haven't got the sampling right. Stop it. And I will just say, Ride of the Valkyries is way better, and it's in the public domain, and you don't have to pay for it. So just use Ride of the Valkyries. Like, meh. Tony Khan said at the press conference that he paid more than some wrestlers' contracts to use this song for one night. I'm like, oh, talk about freaking privilege. Like, why? Honestly,
that's gone right down now.
It
in my
didn't
estimations.
need. We just didn't need it.
Didn't need that,
and you
didn't need to say that.
It was the Tiger Driver 91 of this match. Let me say that. Did it add to the match? Not really.
No. 9.
So yeah, this is a strange one. In the match now, Danielson playing possum. I just didn't like it. I feel like he's better than that.
Yeah,
it just didn't suit him, even as a heel that he is at the moment. I'm just like, I just don't think it works for you.
Nah,
to be honest. Kicking out of the Rainmaker. No, sir, that's a finisher. Don't do that. Danielson broke his arm.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? His forearm,
not a little break either. That's well snapped, as they say in the hospital. Like they put the thing on the board snapped. And like, that right there, that is well snapped. We should get a cast on that or go put him in for surgery. I think this one will need surgery because they need to put the bone back in the right place, and then
they'll probably plate it.
They will probably plate it. Yeah. It's fine. The best of us have got plates in their appendages, so
I don't.
It's all good. Well, as I said, the best of us.
Which is surprising considering my job.
Yeah, it is really. Yeah. Surprised you haven't been kicked by a horse or stood on by a horse or thrown off a horse.
I've had all that.
Yeah. Okay. We must drink a lot of milk.
Yes.
Kudos to him, though, for wrestling the last 10 minutes of the match with it broken.
Yes.
Because nobody really knew that it was a broken arm. Everyone was like, he's hurt his ribs. Because the way he was holding his arm, where he was holding his arm, it seemed like, he's hurt his ribs. And I thought he was selling an injury, like it's a fake kind of kayfabe injury. No, he had a broken arm, and he just adapted his wrestling style to still put on a 5-star match.
Like looking back on it, he had the broken arm when he was like holding it. When Okada was pulling him by that arm as well, I was just like, Oh.
Yeah,
he must be gritting his teeth.
I mean, there's a language barrier there.
Yeah.
How well does "stop doing that, my arm is broken" translate into Japanese? It's probably quite a hard thing to do if you don't know what that is in Okada's native language.
Yeah.
Kudasai, no. Arm broken, no. That's a bit Spanish. It's not really Japanese. Okay. On to the pros then. I'll stop being a moaning Minnie now.
Okay, go.
I didn't care for Danielson's entrance, but I got actual, genuine, bona fide goosebumps for Okada's entrance.
Yeah.
Like, can't even explain why, but I was just sat there like, yeah, that's got me. There you go. I enjoyed that. That was a great.
Yeah.
That's just a great moment.
Yeah.
Okada in America.
Mm.
Don't know why it got me, but it did.
Yeah.
In general, the slow, methodical, old school wrestling that this match was, I've struggled to really pull out specific moments that I enjoyed because it was just a clinic, basically.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the overall experience of it rather than specific things like we've pulled out in the other matches. But the other final pro is Okada tapping.
Yeah.
That's the first time he's done that since the 2015 G1 Climax tournament. Do you know who was the last person to make him tap out?
Who?
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Ah. Nice.
Yeah, so the last 2 times he's been tapped out over the course of 8 years has been by current or ex WWE guys.
Yeah, that's very cool. I like that.
Yeah. Any further thoughts, additions from you? No?
Nope.
And again, this is where we've gone wrong. We both went with Kazuchika Okada for the win because I really didn't think that they were going to have him lose, and Bryan Danielson always loses, frankly. Seems to be the way. So I guess he's been jobbing for months leading up to this. So I'm getting this one. Yeah. Especially if I break my arm. If I break my arm, I'm winning, Tony. You make sure that happens. So yeah, that means that we finish on 11-10. And the scores on the doors, prediction-wise, after that.
Scores on the Forbidden Doors.
Oh! That's it. We can't do it. We can't do another show. We can't top that. That's the end.
That's it. Goodbye, everyone.
Thanks for coming. Good night. It does mean that I edge a little bit closer to your score. I am on 62. You are on 63. I'm back within 1. We're getting there. We're getting there. Now, before we move on and have a little 5-minute break before we get into NXT Gold Rush, I've got one last thing for you, Dan. On this day, I would like you to deliver me a rating out of 5 commentators talking over the ring announcer.
Okay. So, I thought this was a great pay-per-view. A lot of great matches. However, there was a lot of matches. And even though there was a lot of great matches, because there was a lot of matches, there was a lot of fine matches. So I want to give it a 4, but I think I'm going to have to give it a 3.75.
I am of the same thinking as you. I don't want to give it too high a score because it did have things like Jack Perry going for a world championship and several multi-man matches, and like
the
it wasn't
Ring of
perfect.
Honor matches.
It was decent. It was better than last year for sure, and I did enjoy it. But for me, that means I'm not giving it a 4.5. I'm giving it a 4.
Okay.
So there you go. And that is our show. coming in at 1 hour and 10 minutes. We knew it was going to be the case. We'll be back very shortly if you're watching here live, or if you can press buttons and jump between podcasts. We will be back shortly with NXT Gold Rush, second podcast recording of the night. So do hang around, or go and press the next button, or find the next one. You know what to do. You know how podcasts work. It's 2023. They've been around for like 20 years by now.
Yeah.
But if you don't come and join us for NXT because you just like AEW and New Japan, thanks for coming anyway. We appreciate you.
Cheers.
I've been Jez.
I've been Dan.
This has been the Main Event Podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.